Welcome to Gator Bytes, the official business podcast of the Maryland Davies College of Business. I am your host, Miguel Gomez, and with us today we have Montserrat Serrano and Bryan Alvarado. They are both Ted Bauer Scholarship recipients, and they are going to share their story with us today. Welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so happy. So I just want to start off by asking you, please introduce yourselves. Tell us about your major, and we'll go from there.
Yes. So my name is Montserrat Serrano. I am a finance major here at UHD. I am set to graduate in May 2025. What I hope to pursue a career in is in risk management. And something that I'm very passionate about is the student life here. So I do have various positions. I serve as the Council of Organizations, the Finance Committee, and as well as the Marketing Officer for the Financial Management Association, also known as FMA.
Hi, I'm Bryan Alvarado. I'm a senior graduating in May 2024. I am currently a risk management and insurance major and also have minors in finance and Spanish. I am currently working at a wholesale broker, UHD Insurance Services, Inc. I'm also president of the Gamma Iota Sigma, which is a professional student fraternity here at the university for risk management. And I also am president of the UHD Bicycle Club.
Wow. I'm honestly left humbled because it sounds like you guys are just all over our campus and doing a lot of awesome things. Y'all are both similar majors, risk management, correct? It's sort of always about taking a calculated risk whenever you're getting out there and getting involved. So you both are recipients of the Ted Bauer Scholarship Program. Can you please tell us about it and what motivated you to apply for the scholarship?
I would say what motivated me really was like my parents, my family. I am first gen, and out of 3 children, the only one to go to college. So I really just wanted to make my parents proud, my family proud, and this is just a stepping stone into bettering my generations to come.
Wow. What about you, Bryan?
What motivated me was honestly the honors program. Obviously our program director is always wanting us to put our names out there and try to apply to as many things as we can. So whenever I heard that, the College of Business had this opportunity, I just had to jump at it.
What is it like to be in the classroom and have to work for that achievement? How do you do it in the classroom?
You can go first.
Sure. For me, it just means that, it makes me work harder. It makes me know that I have the backbone and the support with the university and as well as other professors and the people who are donating for that scholarship to help me want to do better, not only for myself, but also maybe down the line be a donor just as they were.
Wow, that sounds like it comes really full circle. What about you, Montse?
I guess to add on to that, I truly feel like the professors, they really do make the experience, coming to school and all the material that we're learning, enjoyable at the same time. And it has really just helped me to, as a student overall, just be well-rounded when it comes to managing outside stuff, and then as well keeping my focus in my grades, making sure they're good. So I think overall.
So Montse, I have to ask you, going back to what it takes to earn a scholarship like this, you have to work really hard in the classroom. So I want to ask you, what is a significant challenge that you've overcome in the classroom? And what advice would you have to students who are struggling and just simply want to do better?
Yes, I definitely think college is not for the weak, for sure. It does take a lot of your time, and you learn how to time manage. You learn how to, even when things get hard, you understand the topic. You have to go about different ways on how I can understand that. And one of my courses, which was for science, that it's required, I noticed from there, science was not my cup of tea, so I did struggle with that as well. I've always worked throughout college and starting my senior year actually, so all of that has challenged me to just push through and grow from there. And really it has taught me that I'm stronger than what I expected, and luckily I was able to just get a better grade than I expected. And that has helped me overall just be resilient throughout my courses, throughout the years in my college experience.
It sounds like you're very resolute in just overcoming any challenge and being able to power through. And it's not hard to, it's really hard to be able to perform and just be consistent throughout like the whole time that you're studying, because life comes at you really fast. You say you're balancing a job right now?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work in enrollment management here at UHD, actually.
Oh, shout out to the enrollment management department.
Yes.
No, but that combined with like being involved on campus, it must take a lot of balancing your calendar. Um, I want to get back to the calendar in just a second because I have to ask just how you guys do it because it sounds like you guys have really busy schedules. But on the flip side, what about you, Bryan? Challenge that you faced in the classroom?
Sure. So, graduating in 2020 at the peak of the pandemic with having a lockdown, not even having really a proper graduation, not even a prom for that instance. Being a first generation student, it was definitely difficult having parents that don't understand the process, not understanding what it really takes to be able to be successful in college. Having them ask, "Oh, you're always busy. You're always on the computer." It's like, well, yeah, but I'm completing assignments. I'm applying for scholarships. I'm trying to find better opportunities to better myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, just trying to crack that shell was definitely a challenge. But then additionally, when my mom got ill in 2021, and again this year, it's just been a little rough trying to find a balance, as you say, with the calendar, trying to fit everything in the day that you can do.
A lot of your story really resonates with me. Like both of y'all, you're both graduated in 2020, correct?
2021.
2021 and 2020. But the pandemic was rough on all of us, nonetheless. It sucked not being able to cross the stage the year that we graduated, and it was a real challenge to be able to overcome that. But like both of your stories, it sounds like you have the pressures in your life, and in this case, it's our close family members that we love and that we care about, that we have to be there for. In this case, I can relate with my dad, but with your mom, you're there for her, but you're still putting in the time to do your stories and being involved on campus, and ultimately, it's not easy, but you still find a way. I have to ask you, what drives you?
Definitely my parents. My mom and dad worked since they got here to the United States about 30 years ago. I've always seen them working, always up on their feet, up and early at them at 5 in the morning, trying to get done whatever they can every day to try and provide a better life for my brother and I.
Wow. And I think that's a story that a lot of our students share, especially, coming from first generation households. The idea of keeping the family moving forward and finding that generational wealth through education, it's really difficult. This scholarship allowed you guys to navigate the financial pressures of higher education, but at the same time, now you have the freedom to study. What has it been like for you to receive this scholarship? Has it taken away any pressures from you?
It definitely has. Me personally, I didn't think I was able to receive a scholarship because it's something that, it's like a prestigious award, only like the best of the best get it. And if anything, I'm super appreciated. And I feel very fortunate to have gotten the scholarship. It has helped me to, devote my time here at the student life. And then also it has relieved that financial stress of how I'm going to pay for college, how I'm going to pay for my books, and all those expenses that come along as well, food wise or anything that it may that I may come across with. So it has definitely helped with all of that as well. My parents, they obviously feel relieved and very happy that I'm able to not only get an education, go to college, but have it paid for. We were both beyond the moon excited about this opportunity.
It really sounds like a blessing in your situation. What about you, Bryan?
For sure. I mean, getting this scholarship allowed me to pursue an internship that I would have never thought I'd be able to, thanks to the, not having to worry about maybe finding funds for my final year in college. It definitely allowed me to explore and expose myself to a lot of industry and to be able to grow my network as well.
I always think back to the Ted Bauer Scholarship Luncheon, and I was able and fortunate enough to be in that room whenever single one of the Ted Bauer Scholarship recipients gave their speech, and it was just so powerful, and it shows the effects of being able to have the financial pressures of college relieved through your scholarship and through your work. Literally, that's why it's called a scholarship. I have to ask you, there's students who are applying for the first time and they're just learning at this opportunity. What advice would you have for them in terms of just going for it? Because it sounds like it was you thought it was for the prestigious student, but you are that student. And how did you get to apply?
Hmm. So I guess fun fact about myself, I got my associates from HEC and I transferred last fall. Last fall, and from the get-go, someone from admissions informed me, oh, like there's gonna be a lot of scholarship opportunities, you should go for it. And I had gotten an email about it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, well, first of all, I guess I'm semi-qualified because I received the email. So I was like, why not go for it? And so my advice is for any student, just do it. You never know what can happen. And like that quote says, 100% of the shots that you don't take are the ones that you miss. And that's so true. So yeah, you can surprise yourself. You may, like I personally had my doubts when I was writing that essay. I'm like, I don't know, is my story really special? But it is who you are. And we are all, original. And your story is, it can touch someone. There's so many people on this earth, so it can, the person reading it, you never know. They could relate to it, really, and see eye to eye on things. And yeah, that's what happened, I guess. That's why I was selected. So yeah, I would definitely encourage anybody, just go for it. You have nothing to lose.
I definitely say be resilient. For example, the first time I applied for it, I was denied. But, I always kept trying to expose myself, be out in public events that are always happening, be at the career fairs, any events that happen here at the College of Business. So definitely just, as Montserrat is saying, keep trying. Put yourself out there. It doesn't matter if you believe that, your story may not be worth it. Somebody wants to hear it. Maybe that somebody can do a big difference for you in your life and your college career. So just keep trying, keep putting yourself out there, and always believe in yourself.
I feel like that embodies the slogan of our university: determined, dedicated, downtown.
Yeah.
No, but it, with that advice, that opens a door to being able to apply for them, but you also got to put in the work in the classroom. Yeah, I want to go back to your calendar. How do you drive a busy calendar, like with your school, your classes, your assignments, and what advice would you have for students to get organized?
Oh yeah, it has taught me to get organized. I've learned as I went about that. Managing a busy schedule. So I literally do like a to-do list physically, and I tape it on my laptop. Anything that I have to get done, I do it like chronological order. So all of that sort. So I just update my Outlook, anything that helps. So I would say that would be a way that I manage.
Honestly, you went digital. I'm very pen and paper. What about you, Bryan?
It's a mix of all of them. Similar to Montserrat, the way I do it is I put maybe my textbooks in an order. So the night before I finish a certain book, it goes to the bottom, and the book at the top means I got to start there. And not that, my bookmarks on my computer, for example, like McGraw-Hill, if I have something to do on that website, it'll be in first. I just move them around in the order I need things to do. And as well, updating my calendar on the phone or on the computer, make sure that I accept invites to meetings to know when and where they are at all times.
And also, I'm not gonna lie, you're really fast at sending emails. Like one time, I remember I emailed you and you emailed me like a minute later. No, but ultimately, that's a good way to balance it. And
I'm gonna use that tip actually.
Before we started the interview, I remember you were talking about your pencil case with one of our coworkers here, and it's funny, the stationery is everything. Yes, and being able to be methodical with your schoolwork, starting from what's due first and going all the way down. That sounds like some solid advice. I gotta ask you something challenging to both of you. Have you ever struggled in the classroom, and if so, how did you overcome like a challenge, like whenever you didn't grasp the concept, or you were like in a really challenging course?
I took advantage of the tutoring services. I really did. He literally knew me by name. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say that, don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to your professors is something that I love about UHD as well. You have that personal relationship with the professor. So even after class, they're not hard to reach. So anything that you may have, the professors are great. They're always willing to help. So, and then also, your classmates too. I feel like a smaller campus, you make connections and you help each other out. I have a few friends, we like, you know, go through the review, and, you know, whatever I don't know, you know, he or
Study
she.
group?
Yes, study
Yeah, I
group.
love that.
So study groups, yes, for sure. So community, for sure.
That's a big one. What about you, Bryan?
Similar to Montserrat, I've definitely been a frequent visitor to the tutoring center, but similar to, you know, just building a network. You have these students here that you may have never spoken to, you may have never seen them around campus. Just reach out to them like, hey, do you understand what we're covering this week? I'm having difficulty grasping it. If you want to maybe start a study group or you just want to review them after class, I'm available. Let me know your availability.
Wow. Very collaborative, and it sounds like your schoolwork has also allowed you to reach out and make new friends as well. I imagine that by having a community, you have a group of people that you can rely on, and at the same time, they know what you're going through, so you're able to also talk it out and just sort of move past those challenges together. I want to ask you, you know, you're in the classroom and you're studying, and you know, you guys are doing good. At some point, you're going to reach that milestone of graduation. How do you plan to continue your academic growth or your just professional growth after you graduate? And where do you all want to go in 5 years?
That's a 5 years question. So I do plan to come back for my master's.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know, just getting experience in my field. So I am going to do an internship this summer. So that is going to help create opportunities. So that is basically what it's looking like as of right now. And we're just going as we go. You know, any opportunity that knocks on my door, you know, I'm gonna take it.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about your internship.
Yes, so it is a finance internship, so I will be doing rotational. So I'm really excited about that because I will be able to, you know, just really see the different departments in the company that I will be working for. So I would get to decide, okay, what do I like and what I, you know, don't like so much. So
That's a big one, you know, trying out where you want to go in terms of your field and finding that niche that is comfortable with you. So excited to hear where your growth journey takes you there. What about you, Bryan?
thank you.
Sure. So my current firm, I'm a technical assistant, which is kind of where you start off. I'm looking to grow into a producer role for them. So, you know, bringing in new business and creating growth for the company. But ultimately, I maybe see myself being an officer for our company. It is family owned. So literally everybody knows everybody. It's as tight as it can be. A very close group of people. But in terms of growing my education, you know, risk management and insurance, the field offers a lot of designations for students to grow, or for professionals to grow even further. For example, designations like a chartered professional casualty underwriter or a chartered financial casualty underwriter as well. And then, you know, risk management side, certified risk manager, associate risk manager. There's plenty of avenues to take in risk management.
It sounds like there's a lot of job opportunities in that field. And, you know, I hate to hit you with a pun, but sometimes it's all about taking a managed risk. I'm sorry. No, so, you know, we're about to wrap up this interview, and it sounds like you guys have a lot of experience in, you know, overcoming challenges, but also being able to perform in the classroom. Bryan, you were recently featured in Skyline magazine.
Yes.
In the lead up to the 50th anniversary. This is your picture right here.
That's awesome.
Please tell us about this experience and what is it like to be featured in this magazine?
So definitely, it's all the work that you do, and you get to see it in an article on a magazine that is promoting the 50th year of the University of Houston downtown. So what that article is about my time with volunteering over 125 hours with the Volunteer Income Tax program here, VITA TCE, as well as volunteering with the Center for Community Engagement and Service Learning at the main campus. So it's definitely been, you know, exciting to be able to see the work that I've done and just be put on a nice piece of paper promoted here at the university.
And also shout out to UHD VITA. They do a lot of really vital work in the community. Yes. Tell us about VITA, please.
Yeah, so it's a program that helps you learn how to do taxes, pretty much, how to file them, how to read and know the tax codes. I believe the current person that runs it is Dr. Cynthia Lloyd, and she's a phenomenal accounting professor and just a great teacher, always there to answer your questions for any tax purposes that you have. Great resource to have.
Wow, shout out Dr. Lloyd. I have to ask you, are you volunteering this year?
not this year with my current obligations and work schedule. I'm not able to.
That's such is life. But it is still open before tax day. I believe April 18th, April 13th is the last day for VITA.
Yes.
But just something for our viewers as well. But it sounds like you guys are both really involved in the community, and you've done some really wonderful things here at the institution. And I want to ask you our last question. I think legacy is a big thing when it comes to the Ted Bauer Scholarship Program. And as both of you guys are recipients, I want to ask you, what do you see the legacy of the Ted Bauer Scholarship Program in the next 50 years?
I see it marking so many students' lives, and from that opportunity that we are given has created opportunities to literally pick wherever we want to go and become the best versions of ourselves, and also giving back to our community, and from our experience of being fortunate to receive this award, somehow create that opportunity for other students. UHD is filled with first-gen students, so just continuing that is probably like the legacy that the Ted Bauer and UHD overall will have, and does have.
For me, I see it growing exponentially into one of the strongest driving factors for students to choose UHD as their institution for higher education. And we see bright individuals like Montserrat here who are going to be the future of the fund for the Ted Bauer Undergraduate Scholarship. So it's definitely going to be one of the strongest universities in downtown and Houston just because of that program in general. It's going to drive most students that maybe don't think about UHD being their first option to, I want to be a Gator.
That's incredible. I want to thank you so much for coming onto the program today. I really appreciate what you are both doing for our institution and for representing our school in the best light possible and being a good example for the next generation of students. Once again, I've had the pleasure of sitting down with Montserrat Serrano and Bryan Alvarado. This has been Gator Bytes, the official business podcast of the Maryland Davies College of Business. We want to remind you to take a bite out of business, and we'll see you later, Gators.